Hello, I'm John Newton. I'm the founder of System Solutions, and I'm here to talk to you today about education. Educating your board and educating your executives if you're a leader. It's a really important question and role. You don't often use the word education as part of your role as a leader. Sometimes we think it's a word that belongs to other people. It's the role of other people to do it. Well, your job is to educate. And I wanted to encourage you to educate about culture, to ask questions about culture when you have your board meetings and your reporting mechanisms. The reason I say this is because we did a piece of research recently on the heightening performance in organizations. It was a very interesting piece of work. The reason was that I did it both in New York with New York leaders and with UK leaders. In that process, I found out the golden thread of culture engagement and of common messaging and of accepted behaviours was far stronger in America than in the UK. And there was one particular reason for this. In the UK, the buy-in by middle management into culture transmission, into culture strategies, intervention strategies, into culture awareness, and the replication, the messages from the CEO and the board was weaker, far weaker than in America. That's not the fault of the leader, the CEO, or the fault of the board directly. It's because our executives in our leadership teams don't quite get it. In America, they actually and really sincerely and authentically do. Because in America, the leaders of CEO companies, I discovered through my research, were far more ruthless and expected that their execs would buy into culture wholeheartedly and replicate the culture intervention strategies and cultural characteristics and expectations far more wholeheartedly and sincerely than in the UK, where it was far more of a nod, of a token lip service of, yes, that's all very well, CEO, but it's your job, not our job. It's the job of the head of people and culture, not our job. And then that golden thread going down from board through exec to middle management and employees was weak and therefore affected that big thing we have a problem with in the UK, productivity. I would encourage you to think more about how your exec teams understand and thoroughly appreciate and applaud and get behind the culture you're trying to create, the behaviors, the values, the routines, the habits of mind, but also learn the intervention strategies with their own teams down the line to use the classic tools I'll talk to you about in a second in a different video, to use those tools to ensure that people down the line are also imbibing and embracing the culture you want to create. And then they too transmit that down to the employees who, let's face it, they're ones who are doing the work, they're making the products, they're doing the sales, they're on the phones, they are the ones out there creating the success that you want. So that golden thread has to be strong, and you have to educate your people as a CEO about the importance of this. You have to educate your executives about what they must do, and you must be strong with those who only pay lip service to it. So I've been John Newton. I talk about culture issues all the time, and I see how culture can transform organizations. I've done that for 18 years as a CEO myself, as well as doing research on these matters. Let me encourage you to use this hidden power in organizations called the culture to create the sort of success and momentum that you need.